how do you become the enterprise which is embedding AI as your operating model? We call it the Agentic Enterprise, right? There are going to be parts of this presentation where, as a public company, I will be making forward-looking statements, just calling them out to you, but in case I'm talking about something which is currently not live, I'll make sure that I'm calling it out for your ready reference. We always start our presentation with a thank you. A thank you to our customers for having the faith and taking the partnership and the journey along with us. Our thank you to our prospective customers, because we really appreciate that opportunity that you all are giving us to be part of your journey as you move forward, right? We've been in this business for roughly 27 years now. We started off in 1999 as a small startup back in San Francisco, scrappy company with a very big vision. So we were values driven. Right? One of the things that our founders decided, our CEO Mark Benioff and Parker Harris, who started this company jointly, that whatever we do, we're going to be led by the values that we are going to run by. And it started with trust, ensuring that customers don't have to think twice about taking what we are saying at face value, right? Making sure we have our customers' success always as the top priority on our mind. Ensuring that we are always cutting edge, making sure innovation is a leverage that we bring to the table. Equality amongst our workforce, around our ecosystem, and our ability to be a sustainable enterprise. Right? Let me talk a little double click into the innovation that we've been doing. Right? Like I said, 99, scrappy startup, big vision. What was that vision? Let's give enterprises the ability to consume software as a service. Right? That spawned a whole new era, which became the defining way in how customers started consuming enterprise software. Right? But we didn't want to rest on our laurels. Roughly around 8 years later, we realized we are also a great, because of the virtue of our architecture, platform, which means our customers don't need to look at us as a business application for running their sales processes. They can also use us to extend these processes beyond sales to the rest of the front office, which meant that we started bringing in different processes like service, like marketing, extended ourselves from the front office to the mid office, right? And became a much bigger part of our customers' day-to-day. We know what we are good at, and we are sticking to that, but there are so many things that come together. Again, like Mr. Mehta said, right? There are so many different components that come together to offer you the outcome that you need as you move forward, right? Now, we understand that those same different components are required just to bring your front office and mid office to life, run as an effective business function, right? And that's where we started investing in AI way back in 2013, when AI was all about machine learning models, right? Predictive AI. Why did we do that? Because we wanted to have that cutting edge of innovation on our side as we decided what are the business problems that we're going to solve for our customers, right? So we have a division called AI Research, which was also a very fundamental component of how things were built and defined in the world of AI, right? I'm sure most of you would have heard about the Salesforce investment in Anthropic reaping dividends, right? All of those are outcomes of the thought leadership we brought back because of 2013 when we launched the AI research wing. Right? Subsequently, once we had the confidence that we are able to solve business outcomes, we started bringing AI into our solutions, right? What was AI in our solutions way back then? As a chatbot, right? And then somewhere in 2021, ChatGPT came on board. The whole world of generative AI became a reality. And everyone started talking about how, the old AI is dead, Gen AI is king, and you don't need to train your models. You can get things done like this. Start looking at models. But we took a year, and I want to talk through why that was important to us. We took a year because of that promise we made about running by our values, because we knew that our customers are going to be with us because they trust that we are going to anchor your data, right? And if by default, generative models work on training themselves through the data customers give them, how do we make sure that we are leveraging the models, but not handing over the data, right? So we spent a year trying to figure that out. And once we did figure it out, we started launching our generative AI solutions. But we are very fast beyond that. The same AI research wing I spoke about, right, came out with this amazing innovation, which catapulted us into that third wave of AI that Anushruti spoke about earlier, right? Which is the world of agentic. Because we realized that AI doesn't need to be a task maker. We realized that AI can think and start becoming human adjacent. And for that, we were one of the first enterprises in the world to launch our agentic solution. We branded it Agentforce. Today, our entire AI portfolio is called Agentforce, and that's what's defining how we are helping our customers drive their solutions, not just as, okay, I had sales, now let me get some AI interventions on board, right? But reimagine, redesign how the new world of sales will work, because your employees, your users are used to using AI. How do we now bring that into your systems? Moving on, our vision, like I spoke about in the title earlier, is to become an agentic enterprise for ourselves and for our customers. But what does agentic enterprise mean? An agentic enterprise for us is essentially about customers and prospects being engaged by agents. It is about ensuring that agents are working hand in hand with employees. We're doing the same kind of work. We're not replacing each other. Again, like Mr. Mehta said, autonomous enterprise does not mean, employees are going to be replaced, right? A part of the work they were doing is going to get autonomous through AI, and they're going to become the managers of that AI. So think of AI as a digital worker who's working hand in hand and under the supervision of your employees, right? That is the vision for us to be an agentic enterprise, right? We already spoke about this. Why are the AI pilots failing? I'm going to be a little quick on this. Our worldview of this, as a provider of business solutions, is if you have this digital worker, right? Imagine this to be an employee of your company who's sitting in and has to respond to a customer, but does not have access to your systems, does not know what your customers bought from them, does not know what's gone broken, doesn't know how to solve it. Now, how effective would this employee be? Now, replace said employee with an agent. And that's the same problem that agent is having, because the agent doesn't have access to data. The agent doesn't have access to context. The agent doesn't have anyone to talk to and find out, right? There's no tribal knowledge. The agent doesn't know how to operate within your company. No governance, no permission sets, security, what works, what does not work, what am I supposed to do, what am I not supposed to do. If I know what I'm supposed to do, can I do it? Right? The ability to take action. All of these things accumulate together to make sure that those pilots don't really go beyond what they are, pilots, right? And that's where we're trying to see what can we do as part of our DNA of innovation to help our customers move forward. Our mission has always been to help our customers connect with their customers in a whole new way, right? Bring the latest trends and innovations from the industry to this part of the segment, which is the front office and the mid office, right? We started with cloud, we brought mobility solutions, we brought the ability to do a 360-degree view, we finally launched AI, and then generative AI and agents. But what exactly is going to take us to that next step? In our mind, it is the headless 360, right? What does the headless 360 mean? Right? Typically, as an employee, I need to access Salesforce from somewhere. I need to access Salesforce through a browser, right? I have a UI with which I'm interacting with Salesforce. If I'm a developer who's building something on Salesforce, I need to have access to the admin console, where I'm sitting and deciding how the workflows need to be set up, right? What is the different models that are going to come together for us to actually build a working system for your employees, right? If I'm an agent, I need to have access to all of that information within Salesforce and externally to Salesforce to do my job right as a digital worker, right? Headless 360 tries and addresses all of that. Let's look at it from the perspective of different personas, right? Let me start with agent, because of course this is an AI conference. Everything in Salesforce today is available via API. It used to be available as API for several years before now, right? But what we launched is also the ability for everything in Salesforce to be available as MCPs. And of course, the other architectural aspect of A2A is also something that's on the cards, right? And in the command line interface, which means you don't really need a user interface for that agent to be effective anymore, right? The agent can exist anywhere. The agent can take action anywhere. That is the power that we are trying to give to that agent through Headless 360. The ability for this agent to be built in weeks. The ability for agents to build agents, right? The ability for this agent to have access to all of that context that we wanted to give it, but now in a headless manner. If I look at it from the perspective of, if I look at it from the perspective of the systems that people are used to accessing, we speak about sales users, we speak about service users, and then we have marketing users come on board, we have a MIS team or an analytics team which is sitting and building up stuff. We have solutions across the board for every one of them. We also have solutions for your entire enterprise in the nature of a collaborative solution like Slack. Now, what do we do by bringing together all of these in a headless manner so that everything that the sales guy was able to do can be done now in a headless manner, right? So imagine this, and this is where I come to the next slide, right? Imagine your sales reps. I know, as companies, all of us have sales organizations, right? Every one of those sales organizations has people like me, sellers, right? Who always have a problem with the systems that you're given them, right? So if I want to say, yaar, aise hota to badhiya hota, what if I could run the entire business on WhatsApp, right? WhatsApp is not an enterprise system, but Slack is. And it can offer the same kind of functionality and flexibility that WhatsApp offers. Now, what if we are able to get you all the governance, all the controls that you could use to run a WhatsApp-like of system inside of your organization, but have the ability for your sellers to operate only out of that. No need of logging into Salesforce anymore. No need of going and typing in that opportunity, right? Actioning that lead, putting in his notes, accessing a call record, setting up a Google Meet. All of that, if they could do it straight out of Slack. Imagine the amount of ease of adoption that this would bring to your employees, right? That's what Headless 360 is. It is essentially our vision of how our customers can help their employees and their customers adopt and be more effective. Without the, what is the right word to say for this, right? Without the limiting factor of having an interface. The interface can be anything. Right? That's what Headless 360 is. The same technologies that we have built, we have also opened it out to our ecosystem, which means other people can build that up through an app exchange kind of marketplace, which we now call Agent Exchange. Finally, I don't want to take 2 minutes more to just talk about our worldview of how this operating model has to work, right? We spoke about context. We spoke about giving agents the ability to have all information in one place, right? We have the tools which allow us to do that. We have the business applications which we have been anchoring over the last 26 years. We have the system of agency, which is our AI portfolio, which allows employees to either use them as assistants or to run autonomous activities for your customers. And finally, we have now got a pane of glass, which if you want it from us is Slack, right? You have our browsers, but you now also have the ability to build your own pane of glass for your customers, for your employees. And Headless 360 operates on this particular enterprise architecture, which we call the Agentic Enterprise architecture.